I'm Brad Snyder.
And I'm Sean Crick.
And this is Game Stuff. This is a weekly video game podcast where two guys who make games just get together to talk about games.
Talk about them, sing about them. We live and breathe games.
We do. Some of us live and breathe games. Other people just kind of live around people who live and breathe games and then just come and hang out.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying
what are you saying?
Hang out and talk. We're talking about games.
Yeah,
you
that's
played
right.
a game this week or
I
something,
played a game.
right?
At least one game.
Yeah, exactly. So we're two guys who talk about games. This is a brand newish podcast.
We're almost at 10 episodes.
This is episode 9.
Episode 9.
We're out here, and if you're just joining us, buckle in, buddies.
Buckle up,
and
strap in, strap on.
Because things are about to get nuts.
Yeah, they're going to get nuts.
This is a crazy show.
Crazy show.
And
can you tell?
Yeah, you can tell already. Anyways, so if you're listening, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher.
Yeah.
Who uses Stitcher? Why are we on Stitcher?
Whatever. We're on everything.
Google Play. SoundCloud.
Modulus.
Is Android?
I made that one
up. Android Google Play. That's
it's
not
the same
different.
Thing. Yeah,
it's the same thing. You can find us on there. If you leave a review on any of those services.
Did you say SoundCloud?
Yes, I said SoundCloud.
Okay.
If you leave a review on any of those services.
Did you say iTunes?
I did say iTunes.
Okay.
If you leave a review on any of those services, particularly iTunes, because that's apparently the most important one.
Yeah.
You will be getting 2 entries into a drawing on July, what is it? The 9th. So for next week's show, we'll be doing a drawing during this upcoming week for a free game for everyone who's reviewed / written in to the show, and then a free game for the first 1 in 10 iTunes reviews. I've kind of locked myself into that, so I'm out a bit of money here. But
Brad, this is all coming straight from Brad's wallet.
But that's because I appreciate the fans, you know?
Yeah,
I just
me
want to
too.
get them a part of the show. Yeah. And so with that, Sean, you know what time it is. Do you know what time it is?
It's like
I think it's a little bit of
1:06 p.m.
What have you been playing time?
What me been playing?
What you been playing?
Me been
Tab?
playing some games.
What you been playing, dude?
Here's what I've been playing. Didn't get a chance to play any more Abzu because Liz doesn't like watching it.
Okay, well, I mean,
it's the
are you
perfect
really even
watchable
that into that game?
I am.
You're really into that game.
I am into that game.
Okay.
It puts me in a time and place.
Is this because you think that you're part aquamarine creature?
Yeah, I really love the water.
Yeah.
I love the ocean. I love all the creatures of the ocean. I love eating.
Do you think if there
things
was,
from the ocean?
Do you think if there was a fish that just had 2 wheels and drove around in the bottom of the ocean, you'd like that even more?
No, why would I like that? That makes no sense.
Just saying because you've been riding a lot of bike lately. So if there was a fish that was half fish, half bike, would that be
no?
the coolest
I think
thing?
I like them for different reasons. Actually,
I'm just picturing that in my head, just kind of like a shark body with but the head of it is just a wheel, and then the tail.
Why
of
would
it
the
is just a
fucking
wheel.
head be a wheel?
Just because that's how it drives.
Why would
around.
its fins not be wheels? That would make so much more sense.
No, because then it can't be a bike because it has to be on the front and the back. It can't be on 2 sides. It can't be one axle of a car.
Okay, well,
that's not a bike.
Are we you draw up some designs and we'll go through this, but I think you're gonna need to make some changes.
If someone could draw
before
up
it
what
actually
this
works.
looks like and email it into
a shark bike, I feel like drawing that actually.
Yeah, that would really help us out.
I don't know if the shark would survive.
No,
which is tragic.
No.
Which is
we're
tragic.
not killing a shark, Sean. This is a creature that already exists. We haven't seen 99% of the ocean or something like that. So it could be down there.
I'm hesitant to just go with that stat, but sure, a lot of it for sure.
Yeah, 99.
Mariana's Trench.
99%.
Who knows what's down there?
No one.
There was a
know.
fucking giant
Shark
squid.
cycles could be down there.
Dude, there was a giant squid at the surface attacking someone's paddleboard the other day.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
I don't know. In
Wherever
the ocean.
Trench is?
No, it wasn't near a trench.
Oh,
it looked like it was maybe Florida or some East Coast
too
thing.
big. You can't really pick out parts of it.
But it's weird because we hadn't even filmed a giant squid until maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're everywhere. There was a Japanese man swimming with one in a harbor. There's this guy getting one suctioned onto him.
Do you think they're
it seemed like it. He was just kind of holding on to the board. And then the guy fell off of his board and he was in the water with a giant squid for a second and he was just freaking out.
The squid picked him up and put him back on the
no,
board?
No, he
and
just
then
did
gave
nothing.
Him a
I
lollipop?
don't even think it even noticed. It's like you're beneath me. I'm giant. Are you a giant human?
So
I don't
he's just
think
not
so.
even caring. It's kind of like when you're walking around a bunch of ants and you're like, whatever, ants. I don't care that you're down there. Except for I do care because you're crawling on me now. Oh my God,
then you go to bed and there are ants in your bed.
Oh,
they're underneath your butt. They're in your butt.
Ew.
They're all around your butt.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. Every single day. It's a huge problem.
So back to the fucking subject, Sean, Mr.
So that was
us off a path
I think that was the long way to say I didn't play Abzu this week. What I did play, Brad.
Yeah.
Now hear me out.
I'm listening, dude.
is
Hold
that
on.
is that Switch game that you made me play.
Oh, wait.
What's it
Is
called?
this what we're going to talk about? You don't even know the name of it. Oh, my God, Sean. Oh, what have we been playing? This segment goes down.
Tell me what that game is, because then we can both talk about it.
Implosion.
Implosion, yeah.
And then it has like a cheesy subtitle like
Yeah, probably
Just
like
Survive or One Last Chance.
365 over 2
Something like
days.
that.
Yeah, so you've been
Hold
raving
on.
about
I got
this
to
game.
know what it is, right? Implosion.
Here's the
Never
irony.
lose hope.
Here's the irony. Brad comes to me with this game. He's
No.
constantly He's constantly ragging on me for not playing enough games. Comes to me with this game. Hey, here's a game you'd like on Switch, and there are no games on Switch, so you should play it. And I'm like, whatever. And he puts a Switch in my hand.
It's $11.99, by the way. Implosion.
Yeah, very cheap.
Never lose hope. It's super fair priced game.
You put the Switch in my hands. I'm like, fine, I'll play it. And I played for 5 minutes, beat one level, got into the second level, started talking about the second level, and he was like, oh yeah, I didn't play that yet. I only played the first level, which takes 5 minutes to beat. And he's over here acting like he's played the whole fucking game. He's a master of Implosion.
What I told him, oh my God, people, can you fucking listen to me for a second?
Don't listen to
Shut
him.
up.
The purveyor of nonsense.
So what happened was Sean's
master of
on his
deception.
PS4. I'm over on the piano, and he's like fucking searching around the PlayStation Store, and I'm just.
That's what I do. Instead of playing games now, I just search the
he just searches
PSN
the PlayStation Store,
and I
he's
find
like,
no
"There's
games that I
nothing
want.
to play." And so I was like, "Hey, dude, I played this Switch game for a little bit last night. That seemed pretty cool. I think you might like it. It's pretty cheap. Maybe you could check it out." I guess I'll check it out. And then so I'm like, okay, well, let me go get it for you, Shawnee. And I run into the room and I'm like, yay, I got the Switch. And I bring it over to him and he's like, guess I'll check this out.
No,
and
that's
then
not
so
what
I
happened.
hand him the thing and he's like, this is pretty cool. And then he plays it and he's like, well, I'm done. And I was like, what happened? And he's like, I think the story's not going to hold this one up.
Yeah.
And then
So,
like, that's it.
That's one version of the events. One wildly incorrect version. But here's what really happened.
Oh, God.
Brad texted me one day prior telling me about Implosion,
I did text
this
him.
indie game that's $12. Oh my lord, I must buy it because it's $12. It used to be a fucking mobile game. He texts me about it and then waits a whole day, and I'm sitting there in my chair wondering what to play, and I'm like, yo, what's that game you were talking about? He's like, oh, Implosion. And I was like, yeah, what is it? And then he describes it a little more, and he was like, I'll let you play it right now. He was
Right
playing
now.
piano. He was like, once I'm done with this scale, I'll let you play it. And I was like, nah, I don't want to play it. So he gets done with his scale and goes in his room and just fucking gets his Switch anyway, brings it out, plops it on my desk, and I must play it at that point. I gotta play it.
Yeah.
It's right there.
First of all, wrong. This is a counter argument. I'm playing Danganronpa right now. We'll get into this, but you're wrong.
Why is that
You
a
weren't
counter
at your
argument?
desk. You were on the couch. I brought the Switch to you on the couch.
No, you brought it to the desk.
No. I brought it to the couch. You were on the
you?
couch. I handed it to you.
Did
on
I
the
migrate
couch.
to my desk
You
then?
did, and then you left the Switch case over on the couch. And then later on, when you gave the
I
Switch
didn't
back,
fucking have anything
you
to
put
do
the
with the Switch
on my
case.
bed instead of putting
Yeah.
it back in its case.
What is a bed but a giant case?
monster.
A giant case of pillows and fabric.
Okay.
The softest case
Well,
in
I
the
think we've gotten to the
world.
bottom of this case.
Yeah.
Sean didn't play
The
shit.
moral of the story is I played that game and it was cool. I think the action feels really good.
It feels really
It's
good.
almost like a God of War style game. Not quite as flashy, but
Yeah.
the sound design actually helps. I think in
Yeah.
those games it's really important that you have super impactful sounds.
Yeah, the sounds are great. The voice acting is very impressive for what was a mobile game.
Yeah, the problem is the story is utter bullshit.
You think so? I actually was really intrigued by that intro. I thought the intro with like the static images and like it was really cool. The presentation was awesome.
It's cool.
I'm interested
it's just
in going
like,
back to an Earth that's
it's just
overrun
one
by
big
other
cliche.
creatures.
It's one big cliche.
Is it though?
It
How
is.
often do you go back to Earth after it's been overrun by other creatures? Not often.
In like every single RPG ever.
No, usually you never go back to Earth.
Oh,
Earth is
monsters
a-
have appeared outside the town. Don't go out there. And then guess what? The whole game is outside of the town, and
God.
it's all about killing monsters. So obviously, you're not going to listen to that person who is
All right.
usually your mom.
Well, did you play anything fucking else?
Can you guess?
No?
Huh? You're wrong.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to dock you one of the 2 points that you have from Guess the Metacritic.
No, that's not-
because
that
you
doesn't
don't
count.
deserve it.
No.
Yeah,
Go.
no, it's
Let's just say
cross segment games here.
There's cross-segment points.
Yeah.
Points are exclusive to segments.
All right, so here's why you're wrong. I played a little bit of The Last of Us.
What?
Left Behind
Oh, shit. When did you play that?
yesterday.
Where was I at?
I don't know.
Huh. Okay, go on.
I don't know. So I fired it up. This is another game that I got that I thought Liz would like to watch.
Uh-huh.
And turns out she didn't.
Well, here's the thing.
But I didn't
this
really
falls
even like
asleep
playing
no matter
it.
what you do.
Yeah, so I started playing it, and it's, I mean, I don't know if anyone around here has not played The Last of Us yet, but at some point the main character, Joel, is injured, and Ellie is caring for him. And there's kind of this dead time in the game that just, you just skip in the game while he's healing and everything. And this game takes place during that time, but it's also...
But not really, because it's
it's a bunch of different time periods.
So you're flipping back and forth.
Yeah, so it's kind of relating her past experience to her survival skills in that moment. And so it's a cool concept. And I went in, and the problem for me is that you get into Last of Us gameplay so quickly. Within like 10 minutes, it's just, all right, I'm picking up a brick.
Yep, and I'm going to throw this brick because I got to sneak around this guy.
And because
you're weaker.
Because it's like the 2000s, there has to be a tutorial to every game. They have to like onboard you. So of course it's like, all right, you're in an area with one clicker. Can you kill one clicker? And then you kill it, and it's like, oh, this next area has 2 clickers and only 1 brick. What are you gonna do? So I don't know. I didn't play that much of it, and I'm probably gonna finish it, but because it's not that long, I'm assuming. But
it's a couple hours.
But I was never a huge fan of the pace of The Last of Us. And this game is exactly the same.
I do think that The Last of Us Left Behind, I think that's what it's called, right? It's nowhere near as good as the actual game.
Yeah.
Like it slows things down in a way. Like in the actual game, you're Joel. They changed this on purpose, right? Like you're Joel. You're a badass. Like you can handle the world. In The Last of Us Left Behind, you're Ellie. You're weaker, and like they play to that. Like the whole point of The Last of Us Left Behind and a lot of the combat scenarios, you're supposed to play the humans and the clickers and stuff off of each other to be able to survive, because you're not like just a super soldier.
And there were no humans
I understand
yet.
that as far as like storytelling goes, but it's not as fun to play. It's straight up just not as fun to play.
Yeah, and I'm wondering,
that kind of sucks.
I'm wondering what team worked on it, or if it was like just a subset of the Last of Us team. I guess like Neil Druckmann and a lot of the people that worked on Last of Us probably went on to Uncharted 4 in a hurry the second that went gold.
Well, no, because remember it wasn't a Neil Druckmann production at first. It was an Amy Hennig
At
production.
first, but I think by the time Last of Us was wrapping, that's when all the shit hit the fan, and they swept,
I think it was later
moved the
than
whole
that,
team over to
because
it.
like we only got Uncharted 4 announced like a year after that, and that
Really?
was back when it was still in Amy Hennig project.
Well, either way, I'm curious about that part because the writing seems different. And they're trying to cover a lot of ground and like set up Ellie as a character and set up her past and everything. But a lot of it was very heavy-handed. And her friend comes in and is like, and there was one line where she was like, I gotta do military training in the morning because they make us, because we gotta be ready for the attacks, you know? It was like, oh my God. I feel like they never would have just slapped you with all that exposition in the original game, so it just felt weird.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
It's interesting that you noticed that, because I would never pick that out.
Well, yeah,
I would just be like, oh yeah, we got to get ready for the attack.
It's the difference.
You know?
It's
like,
the difference.
Well,
it's the difference between showing and telling, and the difference between like a really elegant way to build characters and kind of the let's just do it, like utilitarian. Give them information. Let's move on. It's a game, you know. But one interesting thing is The Last of Us was a beautiful game when it came out, and even when it came to PS4, like in the early days of the PS4, it was kind of a standout game graphically.
Yeah,
and now going back to this, I can finally see it kind of breaking down a little, and I can see how far we've come with lighting and with textures, and mostly lighting and textures, honestly, is where a lot of that shines through these days.
Yeah, they're PS3 textures.
But I'm actually surprised at how different it looks, or how far we've come, because it has been more of an evolution this gen. Like we had really high fidelity graphics on PS3, and now it's just like even higher res textures and even better lighting models and all of this. But to go back to something like that, it is actually a big difference.
Yeah, it makes a bigger difference than you think. I was watching our friend Dan play this at the beach, and he was playing the main game. And I don't know, I still think the main game looks gorgeous, but I think maybe the Last of Us Left Behind, like the environment you're in, is just not like a great showcase. Yeah, potentially, like because you're not outside a lot. I think you're inside a lot.
Yeah, and I did get to this area where you're like in the barracks or something, and it looks out over this really cool building complex, and then in the distance you see the skybox, which includes a city. It includes like crumbling buildings, and there was a lot of that in the original when you saw like Utah from afar or Pittsburgh from afar, and that looked better in terms of like art, but still just textures have come a long way, and that's cool.
Yeah. So that's what you've been playing, huh?
Yeah, that's what I've been playing. What you been playing?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about what I've been playing, Sean.
Yeah. Don't try and bring Implosion into this because we already covered that.
Yeah,
and I played farther than you.
I just will say to everyone, it's Implosion. If you don't know what it is and you have a Switch, it's an action RPG. It's a sci-fi thing. You play as like a mech suit kind of guy with swords, and you're just like slashing and shooting monsters and stuff in these like kind of short
really
stages.
good.
It feels good. It sounds pretty good. It looks. Like in my opinion, it looks pretty cool. You can definitely tell it's a mobile game.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me really like the way it looks is just that it runs at 60 frames per second, so it's really smooth, and it's $12. So if you're looking for like a Diablo-esque kind of thing on your Switch, this is as close as you're going to get right now. And I say it's totally worth checking out at that price for $12.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might get repetitive, but it's probably worth just playing for a couple hours.
Yeah. So I checked that out. I played a little bit more Crash Remastered, but not as much because I'm still stuck on that fucking level.
The level you tried to make me play.
Yeah, Sean and I tried to beat this level together last week, and it's fucking impossible.
You were hoping I would come in fresh blood, just
hard.
Boom, knock it out.
Well, or at least
that
pump
didn't
me
happen.
Up.
Yeah,
you know, like get me fluffed up.
I think I pumped you down.
You totally pumped me down, dude. So, and then the other thing I've been playing, I finished Danganronpa 1, and I'm on Danganronpa 2 now. So Danganronpa 2.
You think you're hot shit or something?
I'm liking it a lot more than I even liked the first one. And something about those games is really working for me. Like the mystery and the way they go about with the story and the characters. It's this perfect combination of like batshit insane wacky, but kind of really tragic, serious moments.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Kind of like Persona.
Yeah, it's like that, but way more serious because like people get fucked up in this game. And so like I just watched a character get like obliterated with swords. Like they just stabbed.
So they actually show that kind of stuff.
It's not shown, but like you see swords and blood gushing out.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't see the character at that point. So just crazy shit happens, and the music is so weird. It's so out there, but it's like perfect. It's perfectly sets the mood for this game.
That's cool.
I should play you some of the music.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet.
Because it's so weird. So I'm playing that, and I'm loving it. I'm hoping to finish that soon. Trying to think if I started anything else. I played another Vita game, God Wars Future Past or something. I don't know.
What?
No
that
idea.
does sound like a Vita game. Man, why is the Vita doing so
poorly? Which is like it's a strategy RPG like Final Fantasy Tactics or something. So it seems like it could be really cool.
Why don't you just play Final Fantasy Tactics?
I already played that game.
War of the Lions.
Many times.
Well, then why don't you play Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together?
I didn't ever play that one, but that's not on Vita, so
it's on PSP.
Yeah.
Why don't you play Disgaea 5, the one that you started playing?
I do need to get back to Disgaea 5. Actually, my plan is after I'm done. My plan is after I'm done with Danganronpa 2, is to I think finish Persona because I've been the itch has been covering all over my body.
You didn't say Disgaea there.
I know. Okay. That's what I'm saying. That's my next plan is go back to Persona 5
and then go to Disgaea?
Yeah, probably at some point.
Brad, no dessert until you finish your Disgaea.
Oh my gosh. I'll have dessert whenever I want, Sean. That is what we've been playing.
Let's
talk about some things that got announced. Announced this week.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Not a lot. Two things.
Oh, is this the War Games thing, Warhammer or whatever?
It's not Warhammer, but they did do a Warhammer game recently. This is Sega announces Total War spin-off series. The spin-offs won't be shorter than mainline Total War games.
Oh, so they didn't really say anything about it. They just announced it.
No, Sega's announced a Total War spin-off series called Total War Saga.
This is interesting. Can you look up what the latest Total War game is?
It was a Warhammer one.
Yeah, Warhammer.
Yeah.
That was what it was called, right?
No, it's Total War, like Warhammer something.
Yeah. But it was really confusing at E3 because they had this giant booth and it just said Warhammer. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's Total Whore.
Total Warhammer.
Yeah, it's Total War
I was
Warhammer.
like, isn't that already a thing?
This is supposed to be a really cool game.
So is it actually using the Warhammer property?
Characters and stuff, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
really cool, actually. Because I thought they were just like ripping that word off.
No. Apparently, Total War games have been doing really well. So, they look so fascinating. I really would want to play one, but they're only on PC, I think. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I remember I won one. I won Napoleon Total War. and I loaded it up, and I was like on a boat in the ocean or something,
Huh.
and I just stopped.
Okay. Great story, dude.
Well, the thing about these games is they're so complex and so just
Well, yeah, because you have like
feature-rich.
hundreds or thousands of soldiers on screen.
yeah.
Let's
And
read a little bit
it's the
about
kind of
this
thing where you
one.
got to play for like a month.
Yeah,
and
to
build
really
your army
get it
up.
down. Total War Saga games will be the same mix of turn-based campaign strategy, real-time battle tactics, and hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of gameplay as a
Oh
regular
my
Total War
God.
game, but focused down on a distinct moment. So I guess it's less of like a massive
So it's like one
period of
battle?
time and more like, yeah, I don't know.
That'd be cool if it was a single battle.
That would be cool. Okay, so next one announced this week. Sean, tell us what's going on here.
Looks like that director of Persona is still working. He announced a new project
On what?
which is seemingly a traditional RPG for PS4.
Okay.
Go figure.
Well, actually, it looks like it's suggested by a job listing. Interesting. So,
Oh.
Project Re Fantasy, the next title from Persona director Katsuya Hashino's newly formed development team, Studio Zero.
That's a cool studio name. How'd they get that?
I don't know.
How does no one have that yet?
Studio Zero.
Can we be Studio 1?
We are GameStuff Studio One.
Yeah, GameStuff Studio 1. Soundstage 49.
So, I guess apparently they just put a job listing up where they're working on a new PlayStation 4 game.
Okay.
So, and I guess
I
there's
don't
some
doubt it.
concept art. I don't know. Persona director has made some really cool stuff. So,
Yeah. Namely, Persona.
sign me up.
Sign me up too.
No, sign me up.
No, sign me up first, but don't tell him I didn't beat Persona.
Oh, which Persona didn't you beat?
All of
Any
them. Yeah, have you beaten any of them?
Wait, nope.
Yeah, so you've probably played like
I've played a
80
lot more than you,
times
though.
the
I've
amount
played-
that I have, and you still haven't
I'm pretty
beaten
sure
them.
I've played through like most of Persona 3, most of Persona 4, and then I'm halfway through 5.
I played through
So-
a little of Persona 3, a lot of Persona 4, and 15 hours of Persona 5.
Okay.
So
That's some credentials.
watch out.
It's not a bachelor's
Watch
degree,
out.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm applying for a
It's
job.
not even an associate's.
What is
I think
it?
you're barely through high school of like Persona.
Persona High School. Well, okay. I would want to be in Persona High School.
Okay.
Because that's where they take place. If you played and paid attention, you'd know that.
If you played,
you
and
played
paid,
attention.
if you played and paid, baby,
Yeah.
you would know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't try and turn this on me.
Okay. Well, I have. So I've played a shit ton of those games.
3.
3 games.
Guess what? Did you ever play Digital Devil Saga? Do you even know what that is?
Nope.
Did you ever play Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne?
Nope.
Yeah. Guess who did?
For how long?
Me.
For how long?
For a
Like-
little bit. All right.
Okay.
I mostly wanted that game, Nocturne, because it was so rare on PS2. It was extremely rare. It was
So
one of
you-
those games where it was like, it was $60 used, and to me that was just mind blowing.
Yeah, I know, dude. Sean
Holy
used to do
shit,
this
it's
thing where
worth
he would
so
like
much.
collect all, like he would try to find these rare games and just collect them just because they were worth a lot of money.
Yeah. I have Super Metroid
And
sitting
you
on
didn't
the
even really
shelf.
play them. Super Metroid is not that rare,
It's worth a lot now.
is it?
Yeah.
How
and I
much?
have it in the box and stuff. Look it up. Half.com, Super Metroid.
Super Metroid,
Do Amazon. Fuck half.com.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got it for, there was a period where it was like $12 or something. Look at that. $73 for the cheapest one.
Huh.
So there was a period of
Surprising.
time where it was $12 because everything on Super Nintendo was $12.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I think maybe people are just losing them or they're not working anymore. The price just shot up for a lot of those games.
Damn.
Yeah. So I love that game though. One of my favorites.
Yeah. It's all right.
It's the second best probably.
It's I have more affinity for the first one because I played that one more. But I know
That one
game
is also
that
an
game is,
amazing
like,
game.
so hard. It's like impossible.
No, it's not.
The first one?
It's not that hard.
Oh, dude.
Nah,
I would
bro.
like to see you even get past the first room.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Here's how you get past the first room. You fucking walk to the left, and you
Yeah.
get your morph ball.
Yeah.
There, done. Past the first room.
No, I'm talking about out the first door, dude. There's bats that come down from the ceiling.
Wow, you must
get
have sucked.
wrecked.
You must have sucked.
Okay, well, I think it's time for the next segment of the show, Sean.
Yeah, what's that?
All right, this is a segment where we kind of gather up all of the news stories that interested us from last week.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of go through them and talk about them a little bit. Not a lot going on right now. It's kind of
No.
a dead zone
Dead
video
zone.
game news.
Take me to the dead zone.
First up, Sean, what do we got?
Lords of the Fallen 2. Director sacked. Project size reduced.
Oh my gosh.
Was he playing football or something?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny right there.
Hey! It's also foreshadowing. And you don't know why, but you will.
Okay, well, so apparently Lord of the Fallen 2's director has been let go, and the size of the sequel to the 2014 action RPG is drastically reduced by developer CI Games. Now, he says, I was let go because of a reduction in team, in scope, in budget, in business approach. Like, literally, like, everything.
Yeah, so when you reduce the size of a team, you still have a director.
Yeah, usually.
There must have been other reasons.
Well, no, listen to this. Almost 2 years I've been working on the sequel, and I have not seen it leave the concept/vision stage.
Yeah.
For 2 years, they've been concepting this fucking game. I was working on something I was really 100% into, and we were not producing the game. I don't even know what that quote means. I was working on it, we were 100% into it, but we're not producing it.
What he was just... I think what he means there is that they never got to production, and he was super frustrated by that.
Yeah. So what's also interesting about this is because apparently their last game, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, was supposed to be a big hit for them, and it was not.
Ooh.
Sales were weak, so I think that Lords of the Fallen is kind of like, yeah, we need to get this out.
Yeah.
Try to keep us going.
Oops, shouldn't have ideated for 2 years.
Lords of the Fallen is a really interesting game. I bought it when it was on sale for really cheap, and they're onto something. Like it's definitely a very respectable game.
It was kind of amazing. Like Dark Soulsy, right?
Yeah, it's very Dark Soulsy. You're a very heavy character. I'm not sure what was going on with the story or the world or anything, but when it came out for it being like a AA or whatever standard game, like it was pretty and it was interesting. So
yeah.
I don't know. It always sucks to hear about people losing their jobs. So
I mean, what it sounds like is they were prototyping and
for too long.
For very long, and the latest prototype that they believe in doesn't require a huge team and is way smaller scope, so they're cutting people loose.
Yeah, maybe that is it. I didn't necessarily take it that way. I took it as in like, oh, yeah, our original vision that we wanted to do, we're just not going to. So now we're gonna lose.
I mean, if they had a strong original vision, they wouldn't have been prototyping for 2 years.
It's true. That's true. Yeah. So best of luck to any of those people out there.
Yeah.
Who lost a job. I'm sure you'll land on your feet.
Yeah. Right into us, actually. Yeah, if you're listening to the show. We'll answer any questions you have.
Respawn's hiring a lot of people right now. Riot is always hiring. So, just write in. Sean, what's up next?
Five Nights at Freddy's 6 has been canceled. But the restaurant isn't closing down for good.
Now, what I find so fascinating is you didn't know about these games
until
just now.
I've heard of it, and I thought that it was based on a movie already, but apparently it's not.
No, it's not. It's... a really weird thing. If you don't, I honestly know almost nothing about this. I just know that I have cousins who are like young teenagers.
Yeah.
Now, or maybe like one of them's not even a teenager.
13?
Yeah, like 13 to 15-ish.
Okay.
And a couple, like 2 years ago, they were so into this Five Nights at Freddy's. I think at that point 3 had come out. And even like we were at Disney World, everywhere you went, there was Five Nights at Freddy's, like at Universal Studios and stuff, like merch everywhere because people love this.
That's crazy.
Shit. And the game is a game where you're watching surveillance cameras in this like Chuck E. Cheese style establishment. So you're watching like animatronics and then they'll like move and shit, and that's supposed to scare you.
Yeah.
I've never played any of these games. They sound interesting. It's a cool idea.
I'd like to at least see it.
Yeah, we should maybe just check one out. But apparently 6 is canceled. And I'm assuming this game has made a ton of money because I think it's just one guy. This guy here, Scott Cawthon, developer of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, has revealed he has ceased work on his new project, a 6th installment in the horror franchise. Five Nights at Freddy's 6 had not been officially announced, but Cawthon has said, I fear that I've been neglecting other things in my life for the sake of trying to keep up with those mounting expectations.
That is such a confusing title. Five Nights at Freddy's 6.
Canceled. That's pretty crazy.
Hey, good on him. If he can step back and realize that he's neglecting other parts of his life, then great. Take a breather.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how much this would sweep you up, right? You make this game that's just like, oh, it's just this crazy idea I have, and I'm just making it by myself, and you release it. And then it just gets huge, because what happened is all the YouTubers and all the streamers played it.
Yeah.
Because it was a huge YouTube phenomenon for people to watch someone get scared playing this game. And so then it just blows up, and then you're like, okay, well, let me rush to make another one, get on this wave, make more money, because that's what he did. He kept kind of rushing and putting them out just to capitalize on it. And you know, I'm sure they're like, that would be really hard to live up to those expectations of like, you have to keep kind of one-upping yourself by yourself each time. So I don't know. Interesting. I thought that was interesting. I honestly didn't even know he was still making them. So
I didn't either.
That's a part of the gaming culture I'm not tuned into right now, I guess.
So this one, I'm not really sure what to make of it, but Super Mario Odyssey won't have game over screens.
Yeah, that was kind of something they made an announcement about this past week, and I thought it was interesting, because they're saying that the Super Mario Odyssey players will never be confronted with the game over screen regardless of how many times they fail, which is this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is what this reminds me of, actually, in a little bit of a way, is what we did with Titanfall, where in Titanfall 2, you know, there's lots of traversal puzzles. And so when you're running and doing those traversal puzzles, we have this thing called quick death, where it's like, if you fall and you fail, you'll hit like a quick death trigger, and we'll just quick teleport you back. To like where you last died, or where you last were before you jumped off. And so like, it seems like maybe that's what they're going to do here. They're not going to punish you for falling and failing and trying things. It'll just be like a quick whoop, you're back.
One game that does that really well is Trials. So I've been playing a lot of Trials Fusion, and you hit checkpoint gates basically. And even if you make a jump and you know you're not going to stick the landing, you can just press circle and you're back at the checkpoint. And they're pretty frequent, so it's like a little segment of the course. And it really, in that game, it makes perfect sense, because you're trying for time and you're trying to do this without as many resets as possible. But I'm interested to see how they do this for Mario.
So they say here that when a player's health bar falls to 0, the game will simply remove 10 coins from Mario's treasury. This was followed up with a subsequent tweet stating that even players who fail with less than 10 coins won't find themselves faced with a game over. The sudden switch from the usual Mario formula is implemented in the hopes of encouraging exploration throughout the vast open world. And apparently coins are a more major part of Odyssey than in previous games. Instead of offering extra lives, they're now used to purchase new clothing items that can benefit Mario and the wider world.
This game looks amazing, by the way.
It looks so cool. I cannot wait.
They've shown off a couple areas now, and it just looks so good.
Yeah. All right.
PS Now to add PlayStation 4 games.
This is so interesting to me, because I feel like it's a criticism and it's an awesome thing with Xbox. I don't know, it kind of goes either way, is that every game now that's an Xbox exclusive is also on PC. So it's no longer a console exclusive, because you can just play it on your computer. So there's not really a reason to get an Xbox if you're a PC gamer. And now they're doing the same thing with PlayStation. They're adding PS4 games through PlayStation Now, but it looks like it's not all PS4 games. So maybe it'll be like something where after the game's been out for a while, it'll come to PlayStation Now later.
Well, and also PlayStation Now is not the same experience as having it natively on the platform.
It's not. But apparently it's surprisingly good. So they say a total of 20 PlayStation 4 titles, including Killzone Shadowfall and God of War 3 Remastered, join the game streaming service in North America, which currently boasts a selection of over 500 PS3 games.
Cool. I almost got God of War 3 Remastered because it was super cheap. I think it's like $3 or $5 right now.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't played that game in forever. That's the only God of War game I haven't gotten the platinum in.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of want to jump back in.
Really hard to get.
They're all really, really hard because they all have those trials, and you have to beat all the trials.
Yeah. I just still think PlayStation Now is way too expensive.
How much is it?
Apparently now for a 1-year subscription, it's $100.
Okay. And
then you can opt in for a 1-month subscription for $10. And then it will auto-renew for $20 per month after that. You're not getting like the perfect gaming experience because there is a tiny bit of latency. Now, I've played Puppeteer through PlayStation Now, and it was really good. It was surprisingly solid.
Is it
but
1080? Is it like full 1080 with no artifacts? I mean, there has to be compression, which sucks.
It depends on how good your internet connection is, right?
But even if it's amazing, like there's never any content on Netflix that looks perfect.
Well, here's the thing. Puppeteer wasn't 1080 to begin with. So that's the part that's hard to kind of gauge.
Yeah.
It looked really good. It looked surprisingly good. So I was impressed with PlayStation Now, but I still just don't really want to pay for it.
I'm just wondering if you look closely, if you can always see artifacts and like splotches of different color in dark areas and stuff like that.
Yeah. Dude, big thing happened this week. Big thing. I always say this when it comes to like a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. Wasn't that big.
Huge.
We already know about this game.
Splatoon 2 Direct happened this week, Sean.
Yeah. It was cool because they showed off 26 minutes of just pure new stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it wasn't... I don't think it was necessarily all new stuff, but they kind of deep dived into stuff we've already
they
seen.
demonstrated it.
Yeah.
We've known about a lot of this. And a lot of it was in the first game too, apparently. But
Yeah. These Directs have been really, really good at like piquing my interest.
Yeah.
Because when they did the ARMS Direct, I was like, well, I think I'm in. Now I didn't buy ARMS, so I wasn't in.
I'm
but
over
I
ARMS.
thought I might have been. Now Splatoon 2 is a different story for me though, because I was in before these Directs. I think I'm even more in now because it has a single player mode that looks really fun, and it looks like the amount of content is crazy. There's so much content compared to ARMS.
Yeah.
ARMS, it looked really cool, but all it was at the end of the day was just you fight another person, and that's it.
Or
and
you fight a volleyball.
Yeah, and I don't really fight a volleyball. Ace. I don't really get into fighting games like competitively like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even really like multiplayer shooters
I do.
that much, like online.
Yeah.
I know you do. But if Splatoon has split screen, which I think the first one did, I'm totally down with us all playing Splatoon locally. Like that would be really fun. And they
could all be
have
squid
that
together.
salmon run mode, which is like a 4-player co-op.
That looks
horde
crazy.
mode, which looks awesome.
And the salmon are so ugly.
They are. A lot of the characters are like either like ridiculous.
Yeah, anyone who's not a kid or a squid is just ugly as hell.
So they showed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the character design actually, even for the ugly characters. Like some of the non-human characters look ridiculous but really distinct. And this game has a really unique feel to it. It kind of reminds me of Animal Crossing or any other Nintendo game really, where it's like they're creating this new type of character and it just feels good.
Yeah,
it feels like it belongs.
I was not into them when Splatoon 1 came out, but I don't know, something about them now where I'm like, okay, these are really unique. Like,
Their
you
hair
would see
is
this character,
cool.
Yeah, you would see this character and you just know what it is.
Yeah.
How does Nintendo fucking do that?
They're just good.
They're really good.
They're so good.
So they showed weapons. They showed gear,
Yep.
which apparently gear have like abilities that like will change how your character functions.
Mm-hmm.
They showed this one really cool moment where a character was falling down and about to land, and another character was like lining up this sniper shot on them, like they were like, so fucked.
Oh, yeah.
And then that ability that character had is when they land, they can do a quick roll, and so they landed and rolled immediately, and it got out of the way of the shot.
I was super impressed with the level of depth in their mechanics because there are so many things like that just to fuck with expectations. And that's when shooting games get really good.
Mm-hmm.
When you can like have a strategy where you come around a corner or whatever and you just do something that someone isn't expecting and take advantage of their conditioning.
Yeah.
So that was it. There was a bunch of other stuff where you can like sidestep and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it just seems like a really serious shooting game.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if there are people out there who want this game's mechanics in a more realistic or more like military-based shooter, because it seems pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
But then again, Smash Bros. Is kind of like that too. Like Smash goes really deep, but also just has the cartoony facade.
It has like, yeah, it seems like Smash is like such an easy access game. You get in and it's super simple to just get in and start hitting guys and knocking them off the platforms. But to get really good at it, it's that whole what is it, like minute to learn, lifetime to master concept or whatever. And it seems like Splatoon might have a bit of that. I love the way that like the depth that Splatoon adds that I think is fascinating is that if the ground is covered in your paint, you can traverse it. Mm-hmm. Which is so cool, and really fast.
It's a really
you can
cool
traverse really
mechanic.
quickly, so you can just like go up walls and all this crazy stuff. I'm really excited about it. I think it's out next week or a week and a half from now.
Okay,
and it's probably going to be like the next big Switch game that I buy because it looks like it could be really fun.
Yeah, that'll make the holy trinity of Switch games: Mario Kart, Zelda.
So along
Splatoon.
with that, there's a new timed demo. which I already downloaded and I haven't played it. Apparently, you can play a tutorial, which will is like a single player tutorial to
that's
learn
cool.
some mechanics. So I'd love to get in there and see how it feels. And I'm not sure exactly what the date of it is. I think it's next Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, July 15th, from 3 to 7 p.m. So it's 4 hours. This is 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. So that means it's what 6 to 10.
Yeah.
6 to 10 Eastern time. Oh wait, it says 6 to 9. Whatever. I don't feel like doing math right now.
Well, it's actually just straight up shorter.
Yeah, which is weird. So
Yeah.
it is just an hour less. Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, why is that not 6 to 10? Like, is something wrong with my brain right now?
Well,
should be
certainly,
4 hours.
but yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And
Can't
then I
wait
think
for
we just
more
have
Nintendo games.
one last story for the roundup. Wrapping
Yeah.
up the roundup here.
Wrap it up. Take us home, Brad.
Oh, I've been talking a lot, dude.
All right, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds final release date delayed, but it'll be here by the end of the year. Now, honestly, final release date, who cares?
The game's already out.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
out.
play
You
it
can
right
play
now
it.
in early
They're
access.
iterating constantly. But this is just interesting because this business model and this phenomenon where you can release a game in alpha or pre-alpha and then just kind of ride it until it releases, which usually is never. They're usually just always in beta.
Yeah, for like
perpetually.
years. This hasn't even been out that long, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just this year, right?
I mean, yeah, like 6 months maybe it's been out. But another thing that was really kind of cool to me is PUBG looks like crap. You can tell that it's a mod and that it's like
Here's
it
the
was
thing.
kind of just stood up.
I don't want to say it looks like crap, because I think compared to a lot of early access games, it does look better.
Sure, but it does not look like a modern game.
No.
It looks like we took a step back like 15
it's
years.
Not even a modern game. It doesn't look like it's a AAA game because it's not.
Yeah, and that's fine, and you're paying less for it, and blah 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 blah. But they released some screenshots of their next map, and I didn't know that they were even developing other maps, which is a kind of a cool concept.
I actually
but
didn't see these screenshots
they look
yet, so I'm about to
really
look at
good.
them here.
They look like some hot Unreal Engine
Just
action
hot stuff here.
Yeah. Everything about them is just
this
like
it?
they've got really really good lighting, HDR. There's like some cool depth of field effects and stuff happening. The textures
are
are
those
awesome.
the only two screenshots we got?
Yeah, they're only two.
Because
It's
those
just
are
kind
not
of
good
like it's just a
screenshots,
teaser.
in my opinion.
Well, they
look
are
really washed out and weird, but
they're a little washed out, but you can tell that just the fidelity of everything has been raised, and that's really cool and kind of confidence inspiring, along with the like constant updates that they're releasing. Like you can tell that they actually care about fostering this community and giving this game legs, which is nice. It's not just out there to make money, you know?
well, I mean, yeah, it kind of is because it's making a shit ton of money, but
Yeah. But they're using that for good.
yeah, using it for good. So I am looking here now at the upcoming games or the little list of upcoming games in like the
Yeah.
next 7 days,
Is
and
there
I don't
nothing?
think there's anything coming out.
Okay.
this
That's fine.
week.
Yeah, makes sense. We are
So
in the middle of
IGN
summer.
has no upcoming games, and I can't look at Metacritic because we will be playing Guess the Metacritic
Yeah.
in a little bit here. So
dare you.
no big new releases this week, guys.
All right.
I guess. I mean, if,
Keep
if
playing
we're
Persona.
wrong, please just write in to GameStuffPodcast@gmail.com and correct us. If there is
Yeah.
anything cool coming out, we'll correct ourselves.
Here's a recent release that we can talk about. Castlevania on Netflix.
Oh, you just want to bring that up real quick?
Yeah, just bring it up real quick.
Okay, so we watched the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Castlevania, it's an anime on Netflix. We just watched it. And one of my favorite parts was seeing that beginning based on the video game by Konami.
Yeah.
Like, that was so cool to see
Yeah.
that show up, like, right before the title
Yep.
of it.
So there are only 4 episodes, right? And they're
Yeah.
23 minutes each. So super short, but from what we've seen so far, it's just such a like metal show.
Oh, dude, it's
everything
so,
about it.
It reminds me
so
so
much blood.
of heavy metal, like the
Yeah.
old comics,
Yeah.
and the actual movies, because like
They don't pull any punches.
no, it's like you're seeing brutal like
Yeah.
violence.
And there's some messed up stuff happening too.
No nudity yet, though. If there was nudity, that would be full on heavy metal style,
Yeah.
and that would be like, yeah, sign me up, 1,000%. I am in.
I mean, the first
now
thing
I'm
that
just
happens
10,000% in.
just 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not that bad. The first thing that happens
Spoilers.
is some chick just stabs a bat out of the air.
Oh, okay. That's the first second. Okay,
Like that's the first thing you see is just
Yep.
knife going through a bat, and you're like, okay,
they got Dracula already.
yeah. Oh, he's dead.
Got him.
Show over. So highly recommend that. We're gonna watch the rest of them, like hopefully soon, maybe even
Probably
today.
I'm not doing anything today, dude.
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna go to the gym. But
it looks great.
Other than that, nothing. So yeah, so we're skipping new releases, and let's just go. Should we do the Guess the Metacritic now? Let's do Guess the Metacritic.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah.
So
and
guessing
wrap
the
up
Metacritic.
with
So this
Meltdown.
is I'm up.
Yeah. So get out.
You gotta
let's
drive.
switch. Let's switch
You wanna
seats.
drive?
Yep.
We're switching seats here. Oh my god.
Ew, it's so hot over here.
Wow, what the fuck just happened?
You want
Oh my
some
god.
sprees?
Dude, we can't eat sprees while we're fucking doing podcast.
Just don't bite them.
You have to.
No, you don't.
All right.
All
Okay.
right.
You're already biting them.
No, I'm just swishing them around in my mouth.
Okay.
Okay. So I wrote down descriptions here, since you probably don't know what most of these games are. We'll start with Micro Machines World Series.
What the fuck?
The legend is back! Micro Machines World Series combines the thrilling madness of racing micro vehicles with epic team battle strategies. Set against the extraordinary
Don't choke on those sprees over there, bro.
backdrops of the everyday home.
Is this South Park all of a sudden?
Grab your Nerf blaster, try to avoid the jam, and take on the world!
So wait, is this Micro Machines or is this Nerf?
I have no idea. It's
So you're
both.
driving a Micro Machine with a Nerf blaster?
Apparently.
How is it even possible? This sounds like the coolest game I've ever heard of.
And when they say try to avoid the jam, do they mean literally jam?
like,
Like jelly?
no. I think what they mean is
Or
try to
traffic
avoid the
jam.
jam as in like fucking sick, nasty grooves, bro. Try to avoid the jam, dude. You don't want to get stuck jamming.
I doubt that.
Over here.
I highly doubt that.
Jamming. Okay. So
gonna
Micro
say you're
Machines
gonna
World
be
Series,
way off on
can you
this one.
tell me what platform this is for?
PS4.
This is on PS4.
Yeah, where'd you put your notepad? I want to write down your score.
It's not open right now, so just do Notepad. All right, so here's the thing. Well, let's do a little catch up, everybody. Right now in the Guess the Metacritic scheme or the season of is this the summer season? We'll call it summer solstice season.
Sure,
I'm
whatever.
at 2 points. Sean's at 3, so it's a close, heated match. Now I'm gonna really catch up and overcome him this week. I think.
Never.
Just a quick reminder of the points here. If you're
Dude.
playing along with us, an exact guess gets you 4 points. If you're within 3% of the Metacritic, you get 3 points. If you're within 6% of the Metacritic, you get 2 points. If you're within 9%, you get 1 point. And if you're anything 10 or more percent away, you get -1 points.
Yep.
So,
By
here's
the way,
thing.
all you have to do to catch me is get 1 point. So if you can't do that, you might as well just quit.
I'm going to overcome that. Micro Machines World Series, I'm going to go with a 74.
74, you say? Cool. Let me
Yeah.
just-
I'll fill that in.
Okay,
All right,
read off this next
up
one.
next. Hunting Simulator. In Hunting Simulator, discover distinct hunting areas and complete hundreds of objectives alone or with your friends.
Oh my God.
Like you have any.
So you can... Oh.
Explore varied environments, track your prey, and become a better hunter.
Okay, so this sounds sick
PS4.
too. These guys are good at making descriptions because I want to play all these games. Can I complete hundreds of objectives alone? Yes. With my friends? Fuck them. I hunt alone.
Wow.
I hunt my friends.
Wow.
Can you hunt your friends in the hunting simulator?
I don't think it
Just walk into
mentioned
your
that.
high school with the shotgun.
Wow, dude. You're going there, huh?
Hunting simulator, dude. These games suck. How can I? How am I supposed to? I can't like
you at a
get a
loss,
grip on
Bradley?
any of these.
Well, try and get a fucking grip.
70.
You're in the hot seat.
78.
78 on
Do these games actually have Metacritic scores? Do they have enough reviews to be on Metacritic?
78, you say? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do actually. So get wrecked. Master X Master. This is on PC. Experience MXM's unique tag system and quickly swap between two chosen masters mid-combat, offering a new level of strategy, combos, and tactics to master the battlefield.
I have so many questions about this game.
Well, you can't ask 'em.
what the fuck? Once again, what platform is this?
I already told you, PC.
Okay, this is PC?
Yeah.
What the fuck are they masters of?
Other masters.
No, but what combat are they doing?
Who knows, man? Probably golf.
Chosen masters mid-combat?
It's like the master
strategy
sport.
and combos and tactics to master. What's the battlefield?
I love this one because
How can you fucking guess what this is when you don't know anything
it's
about
a whole
it?
sentence that says absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you anything.
But there's a unique tag system.
Is there Nerf in this one too?
Probably, for all we know. Sounds
Oh
like
my god.
pretty
Master
interesting
X
game.
Master?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds pretty good, so I'm gonna go 85.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm giving you another PS4 game.
Okay.
Is it called That's It or That's You? I wrote two different things. Look away.
Okay. I'm looking away briefly, but I'm gonna keep talking into the microphone because I just want everyone to know that this game is fucking bullshit. This is the most rigged setup of games I've ever seen in the entire history of Guess the Metacritic. I don't understand how
who
you
says
could.
that sort of thing. A loser.
No,
who's
losers don't
losing.
say this. Champions who overcome the odds say this. I just want to set up the ground here, setting up the groundwork of I'm going to score a ton of points, but it's not because it was easy. It's because it was fucking ridiculous.
Dude, this is so easy.
This is not easy. That's
All right,
it.
Let's get back to it. No, it's called That's You. Is
That's
that better?
You.
Yeah, is
So,
that better? Look, this one has 3 paragraphs of description.
Okay.
Which of your family members would survive the longest in the wild? Which one of your friends was most recently sick in the street?
What the fuck is this
Who
game?
among you is the worst chef?
What?
Welcome to an irreverent party
It
quiz.
starts with 3 questions.
Where you and up to 5 of your friends and family get to find out what you really think about each other.
Oh my god, are you supposed
With
to
your
murder each
TV,
other at the end?
PS4, and a tablet, a smartphone in hand.
Just a Jackbox
Answer over
wannabe.
1,000 funny questions. Take part in daring doodle challenges. Snap selfies for photo challenges.
Just because I want to
and
end this
more.
terrible voice, I'm just going to guess
Better
74
you know,
right now.
Your fellow
74.
players, the
Write it
more
down.
points you'll pick
74.
up.
Just shut it down.
With topics spanning everything from school days to
God.
pastimes, prepare to make your mark on the game.
This is disgusting.
No, what did you say?
I'm going to say 69 actually, just because I want to say that number.
Okay. You are such a child.
Who's reviewing these games? How are these even on Metacritic?
I don't know, man. Next one is a Vita game, though, so that should make you
Tokyo
happy, right?
Xanadu.
Yeah.
Ooh, massive action RPG.
Tokyo Xanadu.
Read me the
Tokyo
description, dude.
Xanadu, a massive action RPG. When high school student Kou
Tokisaka.
Tokisaka encounters the nightmare realm known as the Eclipse, his world is forever changed.
Okay,
Reality
I'm in.
distorts as monsters threaten the safety of Morimiya City. Ku must transform his soul into a powerful weapon to defeat the vile Eclipse once and for all.
I'm going to go 77. I feel like you can't get out of the 70s with these games because like I just don't feel confident enough.
You shouldn't be. Because you suck. And you're nowhere near any of these. I'm just
right.
kidding, you actually are. Here's a great game from the annals of video game history.
Okay.
And I figured this would be the perfect game to select for you because it's just right up your alley.
Okay, go on.
It's part of a franchise that you may have heard of before.
Okay.
We're gonna go with Madden NFL 2003
The fuck?
on PS2.
I hate Madden. Is this supposed to be NFL 2K3? Is that what you were thinking of?
No, I was
No,
just
you
thinking,
wanted it to be
I
Madden
was thinking
because you know
there
I
are
hate-
about 25 different Maddens. So who the fuck knows what their scores were?
my
I'm gonna pick a
God.
random one and give you that one from
Okay.
PS2.
Are you reading me the description?
Take your game online. Access an online community where you can meet, chat, and play head-to-head against other gamers.
Oh my
Audio
God.
Dream Team.
Audio Dream
Dynamic
Team, I'm
play-by-play
in.
And analysis, but that hurts my throat.
How about you just
By
make a better
Madden and
voice?
Michaels. All new mini camp. Hop on John Madden's cruiser tour bus and travel to all NFL cities
Madden's
to
cruiser
complete
tour
skilled
bus.
tasks. Create a playbook. Customize receiver routes, player formations, and your team's entire playbook. Deepest franchise mode ever. Play 30 years of franchise mode and draft players each session with tips from your scouts.
Isn't every like year like it's the deepest thing ever? So like
Every
they just got to
single year,
keep
it's
saying
always
that.
deeper. No,
Deeper
sometimes they
every
roll it
year
back and
into
they're
your
like-
mom.
They're like latest franchise mode ever,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next year they're like deepest franchise mode ever.
Yeah, they gotta keep changing that word. Okay, well, Madden, this is a pretty safe bet. I'm gonna go 87 on this one.
You sure?
Oh yeah,
Sure about that?
big time. 2003 was a big year for football, but that was also 2K3 was out that year. That was a good year for football.
Yeah. For football.
Yeah, it was a good year for football, man.
Good football.
All right,
year.
let's do this.
In video games.
Let's go over the score.
All right, you want the scores? Well, I'm happy to say
But I fucking wrecked it so hard.
you actually did get a lot of points.
Damn.
First up, Micro Machines World Series PS4.
Okay.
Actually,
No. Say
it's,
what I
it's
read
on
first.
Xbox. It's on Xbox.
Oh, that fucking throws the whole thing off. But I'm taking.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Read my score and then read the
Your
real
score was 74.
Uh-huh.
Let me just write an Xbone in here.
Okay.
And it actually got a 57.
Oh. See, if I would have known it was on Xbox, I would have taken off 20 points.
No, you wouldn't have, you son of a bitch. Also, that got you
Minus
no
one. No, that got me
points.
-1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, I love -1. I'm going to make sure this is clear. Okay, good. Next up, Hunting Simulator PS4. You gave this one a lot of points.
I gave this one a lot of
78.
points.
Like, for some reason, you have a lot of faith in this
It
one.
sounded awesome. You can hunt alone or with friends against 100
And
objectives.
you're wrong. It got a 59.
Fuck.
Loser!
Whisk. I'm getting
That's another
50s.
negative. That's another negative point. You are not doing yourself any favors here.
My God.
Master X Master PC. Now, I don't know why you would give this one a high score. That makes no sense at all. But it actually does have a high score. It has an 81.
Oh, so close. So wait, that gets me like what? 2 points?
No.
Yeah. Because I'm within 6.
Okay, yeah. That
I
gives
get
you
2 points,
so
so
you're
I'm
back
back-
at 0.
I'm back
Good
at
job.
0.
You're at 0. That's better
Yes.
than you usually do.
Yes.
That's you on PS4. You gave it a 69 because you thought it was funny.
And it was hilarious.
And it has a 71.
Yes.
So you are actually within 2 there.
I'm within 3.
Which means you get 3 points.
Yes. I'm at 5 points now.
71.
I'm ahead of Sean. Tokyo Xanadu. This is where I'm going to really crush it. I know that this
You
has got to
said
be in the 70s.
77.
I'm a Vita expert, everybody.
And it is a 75.
Yes!
So that's another...
Another 3 points.
Yeah, my God.
Oh my gosh, I'm on such a roll.
Just you wait until I go, dude. Next week or whatever. It's going to be
Yeah,
crazy.
you're probably going to get like a slew of like totally predictable games.
I doubt it. What, you
Yeah.
think that many new games are going to come out?
That's true. There's
That
nothing on
actually matter?
there's nothing on the upcoming list.
Yeah. Okay, so Madden NFL 2003. Now, part of the reason I did this one is because it was super highly rated. So you said 87. It's actually a 95.
Fuck.
95.
That's within 9 though.
For a Madden game.
Dude, that's I mean, I knew back then they got really good reviews, but I didn't think it was going to be that high up.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So
I
all right,
got-
let's tally you up here. -2, and then 6, 8, 9, -2. So you got 7 points.
7 points, baby. I'm at 9. You got a lot of ground to make up, buddy.
Yeah, well, now
That
that we have
leaves
this new
us-
point system, it's so easy to get
That
points.
leaves us at no. This is actually harder because before we would get points for like really far away.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think so. This the
I just-
negatives. The negatives make it harder, but yeah, you had a tight cluster there.
That was totally tight.
Yeah,
That was so tight.
cluster, man. All right.
So that leaves me at 9 and Sean at 3, just so everyone
Yep.
knows. Write in to
Well,
GameStuff
you've had an
Podcast
extra round.
at gmail.com. Tell us what your score is. Also, you can tweet at us if you would like as well.
Yeah.
Game Stuff Pod.
How would they play along?
Twitter.
though?
As they're going through, they guess and then they find out the scores.
You think anyone's doing that?
I think everyone's doing that. I'd like to think everyone's playing
All
along.
right.
Let's return to formations.
Oh yeah,
Back. All right, that was Guess the Metacritic, everybody. That was pretty fun.
it was.
I crushed it as I predicted I would.
You did crush it. I'll give you that.
And that brings us to the next segment because
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing something coming along down the tracks.
Chugga.
Train, everybody! Get off the fucking tracks! All right, let's get into this.
So this question comes from Taco Truck Spill,
From
who
Reddit.
asks, which PS exclusive game world of any generation would you want to live in and why?
This is such a
Now-
wacky world question that I feel
It's
like I
cool.
had to put it up here. And here's the thing: I still haven't thought about it.
Why?
So
we specifically talked about thinking about it for the past 2 weeks.
I know. Well, let me
I haven't
just
either, though.
scan through my head library real
How about
quick.
this? How about I just answer, because I have an answer.
You answer while I'm scanning through my head
Yeah,
library.
scan through the head library. It's probably shouldn't take that long. It's pretty empty in there.
All right.
So I would love to live in the Kingdom Hearts game world, which
what?
is such a cop-out because that encompasses probably like 30 or 40 worlds.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Would you be a Keyblade guy, or would you just be like a regular fucking person who just gets fucked by Heartless all the
course
time?
I'm a fucking Keyblade
Because I'm pretty sure
guy.
you're getting fucked by Heartless.
No.
I think they're like surrounding you, and
I mean,
they, like,
why?
got you at
What do
all
you got
angles.
against Heartless, huh?
Nothing against them. I'm just saying, like, that's the world. It's kind of fucked
Yeah,
up.
I would obviously be a Keyblade wielder.
I think we all know you're
Of massive
actually
power.
a Heartless.
And
or
the
a
best-
nobody. You might be a nobody.
Actually, I probably would be a nobody because they're so badass. I'm in Organization 13. But the reason I chose that one is because there are so many awesome worlds with characters from your past. So there's like The Lion King, there's Nightmare Before Christmas, there's Under the Sea, there's all, like, you get to hang out with Disney characters
Dude, could you imagine
and
hanging out
Final
with Ariel?
Fantasy
She is
characters.
so hot.
Yeah, she's like
Oh my
10,
gosh.
I think.
Dude, she is. Look at that bod. That is not a 10-year-old bod. She gets married.
Look at the size of that tail. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Anyway, you could get married at 10 back then, so I think she was 10.
What, 1992 when The Little Mermaid came out?
Yeah.
You fucking freak.
Yeah. In her kingdom, like, you could get married whenever you wanted. But anyway,
King Triton's kingdom? I don't think so. He
think
didn't want her getting married.
number
He's like,
one-
Ariel, you must stay under the ocean. He said that.
are you sure that was King Triton and not who's the guy from SpongeBob, the fucking
Wait, are you talking about the
invisible
crab?
car guy? No, Barnacle Boy and
Oh, Mermaid Man?
Mermaid Man. Yeah, you sounded like Mermaid Man.
No. That was Ariel's dad.
Okay,
He's super buff. He looks just like me. So,
tail and all.
yeah.
So I think if you wanted to play it safe, you could always hang out on the starting island.
Destiny Island.
Yeah.
First of all, is the name of it, not Starting Island.
Well,
By the way.
I was just saying for fans who may
Dumbass, you
not.
think Starting Island comes up on the title screen?
You'd always hang out on Destiny Island, and then if you want to step it up a little,
Destiny Island is
maybe go
fucking
somewhere
sweet.
more dangerous.
It's got that sick music going on to it, and it's like really chill.
I would hang out in Traverse Town all the time though, because the music for that.
Dude, so good. So good.
Yeah, so that's my answer. What you got?
You know, for some reason, like, my head is flipping through a bunch of different things.
Dude.
And there's two things that come to mind right now. Let me get that. I
Let
don't
me
know
guess.
if I don't.
Far Cry 4.
No. What?
And Uncharted 2.
What? No,
The
just-
titles you can see from here.
No, there's two games, and they're both fucking weird as shit. And I don't know why, but I think that's what the point of this question is. The first thing that came to my mind, and then I thought of a second one, and the second one's the one I actually want to live in.
How about you just tell us?
Yeah, the first one. The first one is Katamari Damacy.
Oh God.
Because that game, like, you're just rolling around and you're just like collecting things, and it's so
Yeah,
so
the thing
crazy.
is, here, I'm gonna flip it back on you. Do you think you'd be the guy rolling things, or do you think you'd be one of the, like, stupid sheep that gets rolled into the ball?
Fucked. I mean, I could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, being rolled around in that ball would be pretty sweet.
So Katamari Damacy is a fun one, but the one that I thought of secondly that I actually want to be in,
What is it?
Mr. Mosquito.
Yeah, figured. I knew that would be it.
Has anyone ever played this game?
You can
Mr.
go around and
Mosquito?
bite naked people while they're taking a bath. You fucking
Pretty
weirdo.
sweet, you know. Pretty cool game.
Yeah, well, you can do that in real life.
I'm gonna go with that. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, well, I'm gonna stick with that. Mr. Mosquito, if you don't know what it is, just go look it up. I think you'll have a laugh. You're having a laugh.
Yeah, laugh. All right, moving on.
Next question. This comes in from J.A. Ran.
J.A. Ran.
J.A. Ran says, great job on the podcast.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
Thank you.
My real question for this week.
Oh, that wasn't his question.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck, dumbass? Do you think Nintendo will ever start competing on the graphical front and horsepower front with Microsoft and Sony again? What, do you think they're putting horses in these fucking things?
Yeah, we're still on horsepower.
Yeah, come on, buddy.
No, man, it's all turbines now.
Do you think they are content being the
Brad, it's content. Who's the dumbass now?
being the lone wolf and working on the innovational front instead.
Yeah.
This question has answered itself 3 times in a row now,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Nintendo don't give a fuck
don't
about
give no
power
fuck.
anymore.
Nah, man.
Look at the Wii. Trash.
Hey, how about this though?
Look at the Wii U. Trash-er.
Trasher.
Look at the Switch. Not quite trash.
No, it's amazing.
It's amazing. But as far as competing on a technical standpoint, trash.
I actually have a different view here.
Okay.
A contrarian view.
Contrarian.
And I'm gonna assume that Jaren thinks that they will compete on horsepower.
Okay.
Which is just so stupid. But you know what? I'll give you this, Jaren, this little
dude.
morsel of hope.
Open up your mouth and take it.
Open up. Take your medicine. At some point, graphics will be so good and computers will be so full of horsepower
How many horses
that we
they got
won't
in
be
them?
able to put any more horsepower in them. And the simulations will be so lifelike that it doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah, but
okay?
here's the thing,
At
we're
some
not at
point,
that time.
on an
This is
infinite
now.
timeline. And that's when I say Nintendo will catch up.
Oh my
Because
God.
they'll have a few generations to just slowly catch up to the point where it doesn't matter. And then suddenly, they'll all be on a level playing field. And since Nintendo has been innovating for so long, they'll have an edge.
Here's my perspective. I think we're already at the point where it really doesn't quite matter as much
Wow, Brad.
anymore.
You gonna say that right now?
Yeah, because here's the thing. The Switch
Wow.
is about as powerful as maybe a PS3 or an Xbox
Don't think
360.
so. Not quite.
I think it is. Like, you look at those... Look at Mario
God of War
Kart and
3.
stuff.
Look
I'm
at
just saying-
GTA 5.
You don't think GTA 5 could run on a Switch? I think it could. I think
No,
the PS3 and
there's
Xbox
no way.
360 version. Dude, there's no way a Switch is not at least as powerful as an Xbox 360.
Why do you say that?
It just seems like that's about par for the course. Like, as far as RAM goes, as
How much
far
RAM
as
does
the
it have?
processor goes. I wanna
It probably
say
has more.
4?
It probably has more RAM.
Yeah, I think it has 4 gigs.
Because Xbox 360 had 512, PS3 had 512, but it was
Yeah.
split between dedicated to GPU and then other.
Actually, don't know offhand. Let me just look up this real quick.
I'm assuming the
Nintendo-
CPU is like super underpowered, and something like GTA 5 will wreck your CPU because it's just simulating the entire world, or at least like large parts of the world.
So I'm looking up a comparison here real quick to see if there's any smart people that would be. So they're saying when it's docked, it's about 2 times the power of the Wii U. Not remotely close to a PS4 or X1, obviously. So let's see. They don't quite.
Well, they're-
so the
no,
Switch
no.
has 4 gigs of RAM,
That's good.
as I thought. That's good.
These people are extrapolating way too far. Though.
Yeah,
They're
certainly.
saying like because of the frame rate on Wii U versus the frame rate on Switch, it's just a linear.
They're saying it's a little bit better than a PS3 or an Xbox 360.
whatever. Either way.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you could get a game like Red Dead Redemption. You could get Grand Theft Auto 5. Those
Yeah.
are amazing games.
That's great. That's great.
And if we got those on the Switch, that would be awesome. And I don't need them to look like they do on the PS4 because they still look good enough.
Yeah.
And on handheld mode particularly, which is where I play most of the games, I don't need it to compete with
They
the
look
PS4.
great. They look great, but you're also just dodging the question because the question is when will it compete from a horsepower
Right.
standpoint?
Okay, then here's the answer. Never.
Yeah.
They're done.
Even when they converge in the singularity.
No, because they're not going to compete that way. They're not going to be. There will always be someone coming up with some tech that pushes boundaries in a different way. That Nintendo will be like, no, we're not doing that right now.
Like mind implants.
Well, I think Nintendo would do mind implants before PS4 would.
You think?
Yeah.
PS4 is already experimenting with VR though.
Yeah, but see, Nintendo's skipping that and going straight to mind implants.
Yeah, Nintendo skipping
I'm calling
things.
it right now.
Guess what? Nintendo also skipped online play, and Nintendo
true, that's
also
true.
skipped a good eShop.
Yeah.
And then they came to it, and it was a pile of shit.
Yeah, that's true. So, Jaren, I just don't think that that's what Nintendo wants to do. And what sucks is because, honestly, I would want Nintendo to do that.
Yeah.
I want a Zelda that would be like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Here's the
level
thing,
graphics.
though. Here's the thing. I would rather have the handheld Zelda that we have right now
Yes.
than a PS4 Zelda.
Yeah, I agree. I'll take if this is the direction that Nintendo's going to go, and they're going to be like, you know what, we're always just going to keep making a console that you can take with you on the go, or you can play it at home. But the most important part is you can just take it with you anywhere. That's our niche. I think they found that part of the market that Sony and Xbox doesn't have.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll take that. You guys can have that other part.
They had to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they could have tried to compete, but it would have been very hard for them.
But even with two, let's say, two big guns out there, one of them is failing, and not failing in the sense that they're going out of business or anything.
But they're failing in the sense that one
they
of
have
them
half
is
the sales.
way more successful.
Yeah. So one has like this insane amount of market share, and by stepping into that, they have to play a different game. So like you said, they're just pulling out and they're going about it in a really, what I think is a smart way, and just carving out their own market that they know Sony's not going to try and touch for a while.
Yeah, which is fascinating to me because lately I've been playing my Vita more than any other console or handheld I have.
It's so good.
Which is crazy. The Vita Slim, I am enamored with it. I love the Vita Slim. People are crazy about the original Vita because of the OLED screen. I don't think it's that good, honestly. The Vita LCD screen on the Slim, to me, looks just as good. And what's better about it to me is it's brighter.
Yeah.
And the whole console being lighter and slimmer, it feels, the buttons are better, the buttons are clickier, and the whole thing feels better to hold. That's worth it to me to lose the deeper blacks.
Well, yeah, and honestly, the OLED screen in the original Vita is not a high quality OLED
yeah,
screen.
my OLED screen in my original Vita, like when you turn it on and you see like let's say I would
like
a black
5%
screen,
gray
you see
screen.
a black or a gray screen. Like if you see a black screen with the backlight on, you see all these warped discolorations.
You
like
see
it's
splotches.
not an even layer of color.
And that's
the
because
LCD screen looks better than that.
And those are manufacturing defects where like there are pressure marks on the screen, or the screen is kind of like worn away in one area, so the light shines through differently, and it's. Yeah, like I've had two Vitas because I dropped one directly in the toilet. Yeah, and both of them have that
that's
issue.
Toilet Vita. Yeah,
and the blacks aren't even pure black for some reason. So yeah, like if you're in the market for a Vita, definitely get the newest thing you can find.
The slim one is great, and there's also more accessories for it too, which
it feels really good. They both do. They're both amazing. Like if you can get any Vita, it's totally a good console.
When I play like the heavy one now, or when I like grab it from Maggie to like see how it feels, like it's so heavy. Like compared to the slim, I would say stay away from the OLED.
Just go from your Switch to
that's true.
The Vita 1000 and you're fine.
Yeah. So basically, I'm kind of like I'm back on the Vita train, and like that doesn't have the horsepower, to compete with the console, but there's great games on it.
Yeah.
So
that's all that matters.
It doesn't matter. Nintendo is probably one of the most interesting, if not, I don't want to say the best first-party game developer, but they certainly do the most interesting things. Yeah. And so that alone is enough to make it worth.
I mean, think about their stable of games, though. Mario,
stable
Zelda.
Of IP.
Yeah, but the ones that they develop in-house. Yeah. Mario, Zelda, Mario Kart.
Mario Golf.
They have Splatoon now. Anything
Mario
with Mario.
Strikers.
Yeah, anything with Mario. Metroid back in the day. Like, all of the stuff that they develop is gold.
Yeah.
And they have so many strong IP franchises that have been going on for, like, what? Almost 30 years now?
Dude, longer than that.
35 years?
Yeah.
What other company can say that? Disney. Disney can say that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, they kind of stand in their own echelon as this just amazing developer that never really misses.
Yeah. So let's embrace the Switch for what it is. And
Jaren.
Yeah, stop trying to make Nintendo into something they aren't, you little jerk.
God.
But no, seriously, that's a really good question, Jaren, and thanks for writing in. Next question.
But seriously, though, fuck you.
This comes from Strange865 on Reddit. How do you feel about the upcoming Spider-Man game?
Yeah, so we've discussed this.
We have discussed this, but
I feel good.
I don't know if we discussed how we feel about it so much as like we talked about the reveal of it and like how that was.
I'd say it's 60% just general happiness and then 40% overwhelming anxiety.
Let me just provide a little bit of a different perspective I didn't have last time.
Okay.
So I went to go see Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
This weekend. Fucking amazing. My favorite Marvel movie ever. I looked at it at Rotten Tomatoes. It's a 93%. I did not know that it had that high reviews.
That's pretty good.
It's totally fantastic. Has like my favorite villain from maybe any Marvel movie I've seen. They did such an amazing job with Spider-Man and how like I imagine him from like the animated series and like all these amalgamations of Spider-Man over the years. Mm-hmm. Way better than the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, like which that was the one to beat at the time, right? For as far as movies go.
Dr. Octopus.
I'm now less excited about the Spider-Man game because it's not the Tom Holland Spider-Man from the movie.
Yeah.
Because that Spider-Man in that movie was so good.
Yeah, that is weird.
Like, that actor crushed it. And, like, the fact that they're not, that, like, this isn't the Tom Holland Spider-Man is kind of a bummer. I would love it if they would do, like, yeah, you know what, this is going to be the Tom Holland Spider-Man or the Marvel Spider-Man, but it's still our own completely different story. I would be more interested in that now, because watching the trailer for this Spider-Man now, I'm just like, he's not quite as good as that one.
Interesting.
Like, the gameplay looks amazing.
Yeah.
But this, like, the guy,
but they'll
the
have
Spider-Man
to rebuild.
guy, the Spider guy is less interesting.
They'll have to make you care about that Spider-Man.
And I'm wondering how Insomniac will potentially retool their game after the release of this movie, because I'm sure that it's gonna have some influence on it. You know?
You think?
I think so. For
I mean,
sure.
that would have had to happen already.
No, I mean, I think this game is still a year away at least.
Sure, but like they knew that Spider-Man was coming out.
I think they're going to get ideas from this movie, like abilities and stuff like that. That's going to come from this movie that maybe they wouldn't have had before.
Maybe.
You got to see it, man. It's great.
Yeah, I would hope that since Sony is working with them, they would just give them access
I think
to
they saw
early
an early
like script
screening
and
of it.
stuff.
I think they saw an early screening of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm still excited to see it. Like, this game looks like it has a lot of promise, and I want Insomniac to show us what they can do again. Since a lot of their stuff that isn't Ratchet and Clank kind of just falls by the wayside a little bit.
yeah,
So seeing something that's huge like this in their hands is really exciting.
yeah, I agree. I didn't want that to sound like a neg on them.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what
it's
I'm
a
saying?
pause.
Not a neg. It's a pause.
It's like a newt.
It's a pause. No, I'm a pause on it
You're
overall.
a pause.
I'm so into that Spider-Man movie. Like, I keep thinking about it. Like, I want to see it again, which is
Yeah.
weird. And I don't normally
Yeah.
feel like that about. I think King Kong was the last movie where I was like, oh, I could see that again.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh? I feel like you.
We really liked King Kong.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd necessarily need to see it again.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to go see Spider-Man, you let me know. Maybe we'll go see Spider-Man.
Well, I do want to go see Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I'm letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it for the mail train. Bye-bye, mail train.
Bye.
It's leaving us now. Bye.
Toot toot.
And that's it.
That is it.
That's it for Game
For the
Stuff
whole
this week,
thing.
guys. This was a fun show.
It was.
I had a lot of fun this time.
Yeah.
I feel like we got a little powered up there at the beginning.
We
just
did.
kind of rode it out and then kind of calmed down and just kind of ramped up
Yeah.
again.
You should have seen how many times we tried to get the Hey Guys
Oh,
intro.
dude, that Hey Guys intro was fucking hard.
we started
this
out
week.
with
Sean keeps trying to do these dumb
the
rhythmic
shit is Hey Guys, HEYGUYS.
And it was terrible. Terrible.
Actually, that was pretty
It's a
good.
fucking cheerleader chant
It
over
was
here.
very good. No, it's not a cheerleader thing. It's a Gwen Stefani thing.
Oh, like bananas.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Oh, I didn't even get the bananas
Oh my
reference.
god, that's
Anyways,
so disappointing.
Guys, we're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud.
Yeah, all the things we said at the
We're
beginning.
on Twitter, GameStuffPod. You can write into the show at GameStuffPodcast@gmail.com, and you can just leave feedback, leave comments, questions, anything, and we'll read it out live during the show.
read it out.
And be a part of the show. It'll be really fun. And there is a contest going on just for this week. Like, should we nail down a date? Should we do it on Thursday?
Just say
Friday?
a date. Just say a date.
It's Friday.
Okay, that's not a date.
Is that 5 days from now? What is that, the 14th? So let's say on the 14th, we'll do the drawing, and we're going to record it live, and we'll post the video on Twitter so everyone can see that it was an actual drawing, like a random drawing, and we weren't just bullshitting you.
Yeah.
And we'll post it up, and then we'll reach out to the people who win the drawings for the games, and we'll find out what you guys want, because that's the thing. You get to pick the game. $60 is the limit, though. That's
Yeah,
a
of
retail
course,
game,
of
none of
course.
this collector's edition bullshit,
No.
okay? And
I want the $10,000 Apple Watch.
and that's it for this week. Thanks for joining in, guys, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
This shit is Hey Guys, HEYYUYA.
GUIS.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Sometimes when you're pushed, killing's easy as breathing.
Let's do that one. just both do that? Like we just charge up? Did you go, hey guys, or did you go, hey guys?
I just went, hey guys.
Okay. But you did it in like more of a singer way.